Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys. It sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
All right, so we're back, guys. I do apologize. Yeah, apparently there's something going on with YouTube through StreamYards, and even I'm looking over here, and hopefully it's going okay. Could be my internet going crazy. I have, Spectrum internet, so we know how that goes. But was before we signed off on the last podcast, was about to do a moment of silence for James Earl Jones. Again, very iconic actor, voice actor. Um, just had voice of gold, very just great man, and but he played a lot of iconic voices. Mufasa from The Lion King, Darth Vader, probably, and I don't know if you all have seen the Empire State Building. They have lit it up with with Darth Vader on the side of it. So just phenomenal, phenomenal actor. But I want to give him a moment of silence here for 30 seconds of silence, please, for James Earl Jones. Again, a wonderful actor, wonderful person, and he will be missed. He's one of our most iconic voices. All right, thank you all. I do appreciate that. Yeah, it's going to be missed. I just don't know what else to say. Just fantastic actor. Just grew up with him, listening to him, and he was 93. He lived a full life. We cannot take that away from him. He made the most out of what the Lord gave him, and shout out to the people in Hollywood who recognized his voice talent and gave him the opportunity, and he capitalized on that. So, but yeah, he'll definitely be missed. But moving on, I want to talk about what my podcast was originally about, which is what's going on is that there is a announcement tomorrow, allegedly, from Sony at 8 o'clock Pacific time and 11 o'clock Eastern time. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to watch it live. I know there's a lot of people that are going to be streaming it. I just want to set people's expectations because, again, I had to do a woosah moment for myself. Shout out to the person that reached out to me on X, and he made a legitimate point. So I'm just going to tell you what to watch out for, and this we kind of talked about this already leading up to this point. I want to give a big shout out and dap and love to Hip Hop Gamer. He actually came on this podcast, and on August 22nd, you can go back and listen to it yourself. Told you all exactly what was going to happen. This is to be prepared for the month of September. And that just to enjoy it. So, along with what they're doing now and what they're going to do by the end of September and going into December, you need to understand this is going to be like a wave. Going into December, there's going to be some major announcements at the VGAs that it's been saved for Jeff Keighley. So, can't get into them, can't tell you how I know, but I just know there's going to be some major announcements and they come through. There's going to be a lot of happy people. I mean, a lot of people are going to be happy. But I want to talk about what I've seen. That way I can stay away from it. And I'm just going to advise you to try to stay away from it, which is I'm going to name one person. This is a woman who has a podcast named Daily Hubbicks. Now, Daily Hubbicks just 120 hours ago did a podcast and said she was not going to buy the PS5 Pro. That she thought it was too early. She didn't see a part for it, and I still stand by what I said. Anybody who says that there's no place for it, they're just broke. I mean, I just come to that conclusion. You all know I'm an aviation enthusiast, so imagine if the United States were still flying the Mustang airplane. And, to say, well, there was no need to build the F-104 Starfighter or the A4 or the A6 Intruder, which led us to having the F-14 Tomcat, which led us to having the F-18 that we have now. The F-18 is the plane that you see if you watch Top Gun Maverick. That is the Navy's bulk fighter plane. It is a multi dual purpose role fighter, air superiority, and air-to-ground capabilities. They were used against Yemen. You know, all of a sudden, Yemen was firing those missiles at Israel and hitting boats in the straits, and all of a sudden they stopped. Well, they've sorted probably about 50 F-18s, meaning that they've sent F-18s in, they hit their targets, they landed back on their carriers. So that's a sortie, meaning a complete circular mission. And that's what these people are. Apple just had a press conference today about iPhone 16. So what if all they did was make iPhone 1 and then they didn't do any more technology? So the way our technology moves, which is extremely fast, I just got to thinking, if you went back to 1985 and you were to say to somebody in 1985, in 2024, everybody's going to have a device called a cell phone. Everybody's going to have the ability to stream movies and TV shows. You're going to have the ability to watch TV shows on your little bitty handheld device in real time. You were going to be able to download music. Like, imagine trying to sell something in 1985. There ain't going to be no more tapes. There's not going to be none of that. There's just going to be There's going to be sites called websites you can just go to and download your music. You're going to have things like Alexa. You're going to have things like Copilot by Microsoft or Google AI. You're going to have robots cleaning your house if you've seen those little small vacuum cleaners. So imagine going back to 1985 and saying that. And if you want a reference point, if you watch Back to the Future, Marty McFly left 1985 and went back, I think, to 1955. And he came back to 1985. So that's how far our technology has come since 85. They've landed a robot on Mars. So, I mean, just imagine going back and saying that. But the reason why I wanted to point her out is now she's changed her tune. Now it's, well, if they can do stable frame rates at 60 frames per second with better resolution, then that's a sale for me. She literally just said 120 hours ago she was not going to buy it, that there was no reason for it. I just watched podcasts now. He said he's just going to wait till the PS6, and he thinks but he was worried about Grand Theft Auto. He's like, hey, look, I think it's going to run okay on the Series X. And he even said it may skip the PS5, the Series S, that it could skip it. But I just want to set expectations. Mark Cerny is doing the presentation, not Herman Holtz, not Takashi's son. I can't, if that's the right name. If I butchered his name, I apologize. Mark Cerny is a tech guy. That's what he does. His DNA, what you're about to see tomorrow, if it's the PS5 Pro, I'm going to caveat that because they may go out there and say we found the 52 CUs for all we know, right? My understanding of this, and I'll just give you my understanding, is that you're going to see the tech, you're going to hear about and just how it's going to work, what they've built and how it's going to work. What's up, Aaron? And how it's going to work. Are you going to get a price? No. And I'll tell you why, because I want you to ask yourself something that you can just go back and reference. If you go back and watch the road to PS5, Mark Cerny, when he talked about the tech, that ASMR video that if I can't sleep, I'll listen to. If Mark Cerny, go back to that video, did Mark Cerny and Sony announce a price? The answer is no. The answer is no. So why would he tomorrow in a 10-minute video say, here's how much this is going to cost? That's not his job to set the market. What is it? MSRP, the market, the fair market price. That is up to Sony, the parent company of SIE, is going to set the price. And so that's my understanding. If this is what it is, you're just going to see, you may not even see the console. They're just going to get a breakdown of how the tech is going to work, and the PSSR, which is designed to take, it's my understanding, it's designed to take a lower image quality, let's just say 720p, and raise that up to 1080p. It's supposed to take something that's 1080p, raise it up to possibly 1440p. So that's what the the PSSR is supposed to do. Tomorrow is supposed to be a technical breakdown on how that works. So all these numbnut nibbies telling me, I'll just speak for myself, telling me that there should be a price. There ain't gonna be no price. They should say that they should give us a pre-order. They're not going to do those things, okay? Until they can give it a proper show on the games itself, which I don't think we're going to see any games. I will be surprised if we see games. Put it like that. Yeah, Beetlejuice is number one at the box office. I thought it was funny as hell. You got to remember the first one came out in 1988, and probably some of you all weren't even born then, right? So, but for me, it's a Michael Keaton tour de force. But it is what it is. You got to remember Michael Keaton won an Oscar, I believe, for Birdman. So, but kind of did a sidebar there. So when I hear people saying, I call this setting unrealistic expectations so they can do rage videos. Now, it's just something I just recognize. So you got people saying needs to have a pre-order date. They need to tell us the price. They're not going to do that because that's not Mark Cerny's job. It is not Mark Cerny's job to do any of that. Mark Cerny's job is to talk about the tech, what the expectation of the tech is, and what they're expecting it to possibly do. That's it. That is Mark Cerny's job. And and for all I know, he's going to walk out there and say, we found the 52 CUs and 12 T flops. I mean, he may say that. I don't know. We don't know what it's going to be. Yeah, don't award for the PS5 Pro. Yeah, not for me. I can get it. If they were to announce it tomorrow, what I've said to you all, I'm going to keep saying, if you plan on using whatever you want to use, okay, if it's going to be PlayStation Direct, make sure you can hop on there and make sure your information is correct so you can just press two buttons. You're going to select the PS5 Pro. It's going to take you over to the pay screen. You're just going to hit buy. And then that's it. You get your PS5 Pro. So, but I am seeing these things, and it's just going to be about the tech, ladies and gentlemen. That's if it's about the Pro. I mean, like I said, he may say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, red light. You see what I'm saying? So, but it does sound like these guys that leaked this information, they got this right. They got the exact time and when it was going to happen, the exact week. They said the first full week or the second week in September, you were going to get this information. And then whenever they're supposed to announce an alleged state of play. And you got these people saying, well, it needs to be a showcase. No, it doesn't. They can do a 45-minute state of play, show us some of the games, what they used to look like, and then show us some of the game. Now, I don't know. I haven't read the official announcement. I heard people trying to say that they were going to show a game or two tomorrow. I don't believe that's true, but if that's actually in the announcement, then so be it. Well, I got my when Sony sent me the Astro thing, I went to PlayStation Direct. That's how I got it. They sent me that code. That's how I got it. Because you all know I'm not a big old controller guy. This makes my 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 controllers. I don't need 5 controllers. So, the only what now? Let's see here. So it says, imagine being a person tomorrow who talks shit about what Mark Cerny said tonight. Yeah, I mean, again, you have people telling you the Pro wasn't real. Now it's still not real until he comes out there and says something. But they were telling you that this thing wasn't even real. Now all of a sudden that's changed into, now it's not going to be powerful enough. And so that's why I did the podcast on the other day saying it is for the people who have bought games, who want to play them at a higher resolution with better ray tracing, better sound, better graphics. That's what I've said about it. Now, if you're okay with the way things are now, if things are great, as Thelma would say, things are groovy, again, if you put The Last of Us Part 2 in, Part 1 in, The Witcher 3, I'm sorry. If you put any of those games in, those games are look like that's fire. Okay, Spider-Man, the remaster of Spider-Man, Miles Morales, all those games look fantastic. So if you're okay, and I give podcasts now, I give him his props because he said for him the games look really good, but as I already stated, he also said that he is worried about Grand Theft Auto. Now, if you're going to buy Grand Theft Auto, then I would recommend you buy the Pro, okay? Because then you know you're getting what you're going to be getting. So we have to wait and see. What is rage bait misinformation? So rage bait misinformation would be somebody telling you that Sony is going to show the price of the consoles tomorrow. Sony's going to announce whether you're going to have a digital and or a digital physical. Sony is going to announce they're going to announce the price, what the digital physical. Sony's going to show games. Now, if you get none of that, which I don't believe is in their official announcement, and maybe I saw it wrong, but feel free to correct me. It's okay. I'm a grown ass man. Sony, then they can turn around and do a podcast saying, well, they didn't show us this, they didn't show us that, they didn't show us, they did. And so that is your rage bait. The misinformation is, well, Sony never said they were going to do that. You see what I'm saying? So that is what it is. That's what it means. Somebody said, call Papa John's. Well, I hope the pizza tastes better than one I had years ago. It tasted like wood. So you want to hear Cerny say pisser? Okay. But it's okay. It is okay. Mufasa, Lion King, last. Oh, was it okay? Okay. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just a bad. We knew it was coming. He was 93, and you keep hoping you don't see it. His name trending. Just like Bruce Willis. That's gonna be tough when he goes, but he's on the downside. So, but that's the rage risk misinformation because Sony never said that tomorrow we're going to put out how much the console is going to be, if it's going to be digital only, is it going to be, is it true about the 2 terabytes? Cerny may say something about the speed. Here's what I'm expecting him to say. If he talks about the PS5 Pro, I'm expecting him to talk about the faster SSD, what the technology will do, why they added the CPU, why they didn't feel like they had to jump up majorly on the CPU, why the GPU is overclocked and it can be downclocked. Actually, the GPU is overclocked. I don't know if you all understand that. So we get that, but people are going to say, and I think it's fine as a consumer to say, well, I want to wait and see what the games are going to do. I think that's fine to say that, but what I've heard today and saw is that there were people saying, well, Sony needs to show us how much the price is going to be, because there's just a lot of people who are not going to be able to buy this thing because they don't have the money to buy it. So, and instead of them just coming out and saying, hey, look, I'm fine with my PS5. I don't really have the money to go out and spend. And there's people saying, and again, I'm the one. Give me my damn flowers. I'm the one who said you all better have $650 to $700 ready. I said that on 60 frames, no lag. All of a sudden, I was public enemy number 1 for telling you all the damn truth. Now we're coming up on and this is encroaching on you, and it's like, yeah, well, I don't like this. Again, compare what Sony and Mark Cerny is going to do tomorrow. If it's about the Pro, he may come out and talk about the Sony car that they made. Go back to CES. When they came out, when people came out on the CES stage, like Panasonic showing their new TV, did Panasonic tell you how much the TV was going to cost? No, they did not. They didn't. Did LG tell you how much their G4 TV, I think that's what it's called, the G4 TV, they didn't tell us how much it was going to cost. They showed us the tech. They showed us the tech, but they didn't say, here's how much it's going to cost. When Samsung walked out there on stage with their newest QLED, or whatever you want to call it, they didn't give us a price. They didn't give us a price. So, and that is, I'm saying, yeah, $599, $649. Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't shock me. But if you have $700 ready, you're covered. What I said before, just have 699.99 USD ready to go, whatever that translates to in your country. Have that ready to go. That way you can go ahead and buy one. This will be tough to buy. So since Sony could ask for $1,000, that's $1,000. G, no. Well, I mean, of course they could. It's unlikely though. But ultimately, this, don't get caught up with these people who are telling you, well, they're going to show the price, because that's not what tomorrow is about. That's not what tomorrow is about. Reading that the diskless version will launch before the disc, possibly, but that's not going to be in tomorrow's announcement. You got to understand that. Tomorrow's announcements is simply about what's underneath the hood. And I heard a guy say, and I can't remember his name, he said, you're always going to, if you want a better car, a faster car, you got to put a better engine in it. And that's what this is. There's a better engine. Australian 1100 minimum. Okay, well, just make sure you have that ready to go if you want to buy one. Because after tomorrow, you're there, because these PC guys are getting pissed off more and more that this thing is encroaching on what they went out and spent $2,000 on. And it is, because it's going to be a better console, or it's going to be better than the majority of GPUs and CPUs out there. And I'm talking about the GPUs that are in the 3000 series, and all the way up to it's supposed to be better than the 7700. Supposed to land ahead of that. So we'll have to wait and see. So, that's right. Yeah, Star Wars actors Carrie Fisher, James Earl Jones in heaven. Yeah, it's just tough. It's just tough. So there's gonna be a lot of people at that funeral. Put it like that. Gonna be a lot of people. So is the rumor true that the Pro is backwards compatible with all PS generations? I don't know. I mean, we're gonna find out here in the next 90 days. So and Mark Cerny may say something about backwards compatibility tomorrow. He may not. But remember, it's about the tech. It's about the tech that's going to be underneath the hood. It's not about anything else but that. Man, that picture is on there. It's pretty diabolical looking. Mike 405 looks like he's that picture there, buddy. Looks like you got some constipation going on. Shout out to Mike 405. Thinks it'll be $599 digital, $649 physical. Release date November 15th. Yeah. I mean, that's a solid prediction. So, when Cerny does a presentation, it's for the day. I agree. Yes, it's very nerdy, very Debbie. I'm not going to understand what he's talking about. I'm going to try to watch it at work. I'm going to take a break at 10:55, and I'm going to say I'll be back at 10 after 11. I'm taking a break. I'm letting everybody know, because there's a big tech announcement. I need to be able to see it. So, and we'll be going into this on 60 frames no lag tomorrow. We'll have a special edition. I'm announcing it right now. Porter Rock just got to get on board. Special edition about this console. And then after that, I will be doing a debate, because I have to watch the debate and talk about this. So I'll be looking at the debate. Then at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, 9:15-ish, I will come on and do a debate breakdown. So do I think Chocolate Thunder would understand the technical jargon? Probably not. So very good. Yeah, probably not. I have, then again, he might maybe smarter than you look. So, they built this to compete with the Series X power. Well, I mean, we're going to find out tomorrow. I mean, we're going to find out. So, is it really 33 T flops? Is it really, or is he going to say it's 16.5 T flops with floating point calculations at 33? I mean, he could say something like that, guys. So then you're going to have the people saying, well, it's only 16 T flops. It's only 16. I mean, you're going to get that if that's what he says. Again, remember, a friend of mine told me And I told you guys, shout out to my friend Lou Waffa. What did he say? 16.6. But, and that's what it is. It is 16.6. However, Sony is reporting the leak is that, I should say, the leak, not Sony proper. The leak that's out is about they're talking about floating point calculation. So based on floating point, you times it by 2, you get what you got. They would think we'll get a Portal Pro, possibly. The CUs, I don't know. I mean, Mark Cerny could walk out there on stage and announce how many CUs there are. I mean, he could, right? So, just it is what it is. Power is nothing without control. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Mr. Porter Rock 70. Yeah, hey, boy, they got if this happens tomorrow, we're lined up perfectly for it. But unfortunately for me, I'll be listening. I will be listening mostly to the podcast, even though I'm on it, because I gotta watch the debate. So so yeah, but don't get caught up in the they're going to show, they're going to tell us the price, they're going to tell us when we can pre-order it, they're going to show us games. You may not get none of that tomorrow. And then the bitching fest, these pussy ass guys are going to be like, we didn't get a game, we didn't get an announcement on when it's coming. We don't know how much it's going to cost. We don't know. And again, Mark Cerny is not in that office setting price for this console. That's not Mark Cerny's job. If it was a Herman Holtz show, like I expect if there is a state of play, I would suspect Herman Holtz would come out and say and put his face in front of that state of play. Why? Because he's in charge of a place of SIE gaming. That's why. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. Mark Cerny is a tech person. He's going to talk about what's underneath the hood. Herman Holtz is going to talk about the actual games, and here's the games that are going to be on this. It could be an early certified list. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? So we're going to have to wait and see, but you find out in, I'm just trying to do the calculations in my head. If we round up to 7, so 12, then, so you're about, I mean, for me personally, I'm looking at 11 plus 4. I'm looking at 15 hours, give or take. Give or take. We're looking at 15 hours. So there'll be more games release stuff later in this month. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Vince. I mean, and again, this is not a gaming event. Just like, remember when you had people tune into CES to see if they were going to hear anything about PlayStation, and CES has never been about PlayStation. They did do the PSVR there, but that was it. They did that only. But you had these whack-ass podcasters that you guys listen to saying, well, we'll tune into CES. We can get some information. Because it's dry out here, which translates to, if it's dry out here, that translates to you ain't going to give me no money. So that's what's going to translate into. Yeah, I may fall asleep, so I may just have to watch the replay. I mean, let me fast forward this. So Lucian Sky says this is a breakdown for the Pro. No games will be revealed next week. It's a state of play. All right, well, again, that's it. We'll have to wait and see if they announce a state of play. And they could announce it tomorrow. They could say after the show, they could literally pop up and say Sony state of play, September or whatever, 19th or whatever. So I'm not worried about it. This happens a lot. I remember when Microsoft did their tech showcase, and people did get upset and say that they should have had some games, and Microsoft had to come out and say we're going to do a gaming event at E3, and everybody was like, "Oh, okay," because it was only 30 days away. I am in the Eastern time zone, so for me the show is at 11 o'clock in the morning. So if you're Central, that means you're 1 hour behind. So it's 10 o'clock in the morning for you. So what I think about the gaming community talk about Sony don't have any IP, we know that's not true because I just got done. I was playing Stellar Blade the other day. They have IP. It's just they have publishing and then they have their first party. And what they're trying to do is clean it up and say, well, we're talking about first party IP. They already said they weren't going to have anything major till next year. They already told us that. But this year alone, this through Sony Publishing, once again, You've gotten Helldivers 2, The Last of Us Part 2 remaster, um, Final Fantasy, that is a AAA game. You got Grand Blue Fantasy, you got MLB The Show, you got Destiny. I mean, that's all publishing, right? You got Stellar Blade. I believe that was published by Sony. I think it was somebody can double check that. So, and it's crazy what some people are saying. It just is. So you'll be at work. Yeah, well, so will I. Don't feel bad. Tennessee, it depends on where you are. If you're in the western part of Tennessee, you're in the central time zone. So 10 o'clock for you. TGS, they showed Death Stranding too. Oh, okay, well, I didn't know that was confirmed to TGS. Cool. I think that's great. I think that's fantastic. So, yeah, and oh no, I would fall asleep. So as I say, here's Mark Cerny. As soon as he would say hello, I'd be like, but shout out to Mark Cerny. The guy's a genius. So how this thing works, I mean, he remember the last time he was talking about the smart shift and how it's going to work. And I'm thinking, I think I understand that. And then shout out to big homie Pim, Sick Humor came out and did that 2-hour breakdown of what Cerny said. And I'm like, oh, okay. And the way Sick explained it was easier for me to understand. And so I now I understood what I was getting. So let's see here. They've always published games that wasn't first party exclusive. People trying to, well, yeah, I know. I don't get it at this point. So what up, Jackknife? So DS2 will make good use of the Pro. Well, we're gonna find out. I mean, see, if they can announce it, it does make sense that they announce it tomorrow. Then Tokyo Gaming Show is what 3 weeks away. Then you do a slow build up to Tokyo Gaming Show, and then you have some games at Tokyo Gaming Show, which my understanding is that's what they're supposed to do. And then maybe the week before TGS, they have we all saying a state of play. That's all fine and dandy. That's fine. I can't believe I just said fine and dandy. Microsoft is third party now. What do you think about? It is, in my opinion, because that's what they needed to do. They want to be the biggest gaming publisher in the world, and that's who they are. They're a bigger publisher than Ubisoft. They're a bigger publisher than Rockstar. They're a bigger publisher than all EA. They're bigger than that now, and that's what they wanted to say. We at Xbox Games are the biggest publisher of games in the world. Okay, because they want to if they want to attach themselves to games, that's the best thing for them to do. So I think it's a good thing. You might go ahead and rewatch Mark Cerny's Road to PS5. Well, yeah, I mean, again, I'm not because Road to PS5 was 45 minutes long, and he's just going to be out there for 9 minutes, so it's just going to be boom, 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 bye. It's like when we do presentations at work, you don't want to be sitting in there longer than 15 minutes on presentation because you start losing people. So it's like, yeah, here's the tech. Here's what the expectation is. I saw somebody talked about backwards compatibility. That could be answered tomorrow. It might not either. So don't be upset if it's not. It is simply a breakdown of the tech on what people are believing is going to be the PS5 Pro. We won't know what that is until they come out and they start playing the video and they say, we have worked on another PlayStation. It's under we call it Project Trinity, which is the patch that we want developers to use to get better ray tracing, better frames, better graphics, better resolution. That's what, if he says that, I would like to see some games, but I'm not going to sit here and preach to you and say, well, they better show some games or else. No, I mean, I would like to see that. They're like, shout out to Hip Hop Gamer. He said on Twitter or X out of his account that they will be able to get Cyberpunk to be 4K, 60 frames per second with ray tracing. He's also, I believe, said it on the podcast in August. So maybe Cyberpunk is the game because I keep hearing people now say they're going to show a game. Okay, we'll have to wait and see. Deadpool, Wolverine, digital October. Yeah, I'll be buying that for Christmas. That's a Christmas gift. Beetlejuice is making money. Yeah, again, that movie's been around since the 88. Like I said, I thought it was a tour de force. Yeah, I enjoyed it. So he's going to drop bombs and be out. Well, I mean, again, he might. I mean, we have no idea what Mark Cerny's going to do. So, like I said, he may come out there and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, red light, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, he could. Yeah, it's a 9-minute show, so I think a lot of people are trying to squeeze more and maybe 10 minutes long after they do that little introduction thing. So we have to wait. Look, guys, we find out in like 13 and a half hours. Okay. It's just 13 and a half hours away. Then you find out everything. So you don't have long to wait. Nintendo got a good year, and next year is going to be Metro. Yeah, I mean, everybody, the gaming industry is fine. Microsoft is the one struggling. So Microsoft is the one struggling. Check my DM. Oh, somebody slid into my DM. And that what you kids say? Somebody slid into my DM. Okay, let's see what the DM is. I've got 4 messages in my DM. That's from J Dub. That's from the one from Hip Hop. Okay. This month plus the Game Awards will be one for the books. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did read that. Thank you in advance to at Play AMD. Yeah, I mean, again, I think hip hop's sitting on some information. That was, best way to put it. I think he's sitting on some information. Yeah, he's just not allowed to share. So, but yeah, shout out to Hip Hop Game. So, yeah, he said you need to watch the show, and I'm like, okay, well, if he's talking about we need to watch it, then yeah, I'm going to try to watch it. He locked in. Yeah, it's remember he said that September was going to be special, so I take him at his word. So I just gonna leave it there. What I think about Warhammer 40 Space Marine 2, I have not played it. I haven't played it. So the people I've seen streaming it said it's a good game. Yeah. So what do I think of the new Captain America Brave New World film? It's going to be good. If you don't know what the backdrop is, you need to watch the Eternals. You watch the Eternals. What happens in the last 45 minutes is what this is going to be about. I'll tell you that they're going to introduce adamantium into the MCU. All right. I'll tell you that much, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Who's going to control that? Because once they find out that adamantium is stronger than vibranium, and it is in canon, then you're going to have a fight for those resources because they just can't have the Wakandans controlling everything. And adamantium is stronger than vibranium. Now there is another vibranium I think it's at the South Pole, and it's purplish. It's like a purplish, bluish type of color, and that is going to be the. I think that's what the next Black Panther movie will be about. Is them trying to counter what the world has. So yeah, but yeah. What happened at the end of the Eternal? They will with this movie. You're not wrong, but they will with the Captain America: Brave New World. You're not wrong about that. And they're just saying it's a big ass ocean, and people just don't know it's out there. Which, again, that's fine. Again, I said okay, that I can rock with that because most of the Earth has been mapped by air. Not people haven't went everywhere they need to go, but something's going to happen. And where is it? They find it because those jets that they show in the trailer are Japanese. Those are F-35s with their Japanese jets, or they could be Shield planes because Shield has F-35s. So always seemed like a plot hole with something so big. Well, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong about that. I mean, you're not wrong. It has been a plot hole. It has never been addressed until now. So I mean, again, my whole thing and Harrison Ford and rest in peace, William Hurt, because William Hurt was playing Thunderbolt Ross and he passed away. And they recast the role. This is why people were like, well, wait a minute, you got to recast T'Challa then if you're going to recast Thunderbolt Ross. And I don't disagree with that. I think they will recast T'Challa. I think he'll be 14 years old now. I think that's just the best. And that way you can spin up him and Wicked and Speed and all them. That way they are the young Avengers. Kate, I forgot her name. Kate something. That's the new Hawkeye. Miss Marvel. You still have Captain America in charge of the team, but they're just going to be called the young of. I don't think they'll call. I think at some point during the movie Spider-Man, they'll say something about, "Well, you Avengers, you guys are just young." But Spider-Man needs to be. And if you don't notice that Sony is looking for their Miles Morales right now. They're looking, so they're transitioning away from Peter Parker and into Miles Morales. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes down. So have to wait and see. My favorite Tim Burton movie. For me personally, it's Batman. It's Batman from '89. I didn't care for the one in '92. '89 was just a phenomenal year for that movie. Chances of Wolverine update, TGS, possibly. Sony has a presence there. Microsoft was there. Microsoft was allegedly with Square Enix is supposed to announce Final Fantasy games coming over. But I always thought, isn't Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2 and 13 and all that stuff already on the Xbox? I thought it was already on the Xbox. So we'll have to wait and see. Tom Holland be dry snitching. Yeah. I mean, Tom Holland, they don't even tell Tom Holland the whole script because he can't keep his mouth shut. So Venom: The Last Dance, Sony Pictures. It's a Sony movie. That is a Sony movie. Sony makes the Venom verse. So it's Craven. Craven the Hunter is a Venom movie. It's part of they call it the Venom verse. But yeah, I hope The Last Dance does good. I never watched Let There Be Carnage. I do need to watch that. It's part of the premium package I have with PlayStation. So I just haven't seen it. So but I just think as far as Tokyo Gaming Show, the only thing I'm expecting to see is Death Stranding 2. Now, will we see it running on the PS5 Pro? That I don't know. Will it be as powerful as a 4090? Yeah, it's going to be as powerful as a 4090. So people just need to get it ready. People need to be. They're upset about it already, and they just need to get over it. Tomorrow's the debate. Yes, I will be covering the debate afterwards. So we're going to talk about the debate. We're going to do the map, and then I'm going to F and bed. I mean, that's the way this is going to work for me. Debate tomorrow, and I will be coming on at 9:15. So I'll be on 60 frames no lag till 9:15. Then my political podcast starts, the Hard Sausage Podcast. We're going to do that, and then I'm going to bed. Because I'm old. When I talk about the power, Kenneth, I talk about the performance. I'm talking about it's going to perform like the 4090. All right, and that's what we want. We want Sony is going to be using. They're going to talk about it tomorrow. The AI, all that stuff tomorrow. That these scalpers will screw you again. Yes. Yep. Yeah, I think scalpers will screw you again. I'm not, so like I said, just get it ready. Think of the NFL season. It's just been 1 week. So I think there were some surprises yesterday. I was surprised that the Bengals lost. I was surprised the way the Chicago Bears, they were down 17-0. They came back and won. So yeah, there were some good games yesterday. So this one, they're all mad. The PC guys, that is, the PS5 currently already gets compared to high-end PCs. But the PS5 is roughly where a 3060 and or a 67, maybe 6800 would be. So, but I don't understand, and I've said this, why are they comparing an AMD kit to NVIDIA tech? I don't understand that. So in AMD, it's a 6800 with some of the games that are optimized, that's what you're getting, a 6800 graphics boost. This one is supposed to be closer to the 77. At 77, it's supposed to land a little ahead of the 7700, but be a little bit behind the 7800. So it's supposed to land somewhere in there. So but we won't know that until we physically see things performing on it. So that's what we're going to be. PC gamers are going to be pissed tomorrow. Yeah, they already pissed. Yeah, go Cowboys. Yeah, I heard they had a good showing against the Browns. Yep. I think the Scalpers and Chocolate Thunder are going to be. Yeah, it could be. I mean, let's just get it. That's what I said. Look, I don't even know if you want to buy it, but if you buy it, then you need to make sure all your account information is up to date. Just do that. Whether you use Best Buy, Direct, Walmart, get that. Target, go ahead and get it ready. The Niners play tonight. Yeah, I'm not even going to watch that game because I've been watching football since last Wednesday when college was on. So imagine how football is now. There's a football game on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and then we get 2 days off, and then college comes back on. So that's the way it is. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm burnt out on it already. So HBO The Penguin. Yeah, I've heard mixed reviews on it. No, I'm sorry. I've heard that is good, but I've heard the new Joker movie, the one that's a musical, I've heard that's not that good. But have to wait and see. You got to decide for yourself. Guys, I'm gonna jump off here at 7:30. Just tomorrow, 11 o'clock Eastern time. They're doing an event. They being Sony is doing an event. Mark Cerny is the keynote speaker. He's supposedly speaking for 9 to 10 minutes. And what he talks about, a lot of people are speculating it's the PS5 Pro. We'll talk about it with you tomorrow night, 8:15, 8:30, starting on 60 frames, no lag. Okay. So you all take it easy. Appreciate everything. Shout out to everybody asking the questions. Hit that like button, share the video, and you all take care. Deuces.